episode 22 of Midlife Vices. If you're here because you love our guests, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Tonight it's just me and the best host in the business, Jim. So watch all the way through, because even when we're great, we're slightly below average.
Story of my life.
That's right. What's going on?
Episode 22?
Whatever it is.
I like it.
Yeah.
I liked that from the start. I don't have to worry about numbering them on the YouTube.
That's right. This one is titled Watch It, Buddy. And tonight we're going to be talking about our top 10 buddy cop movies, franchises, etc. So we are in a buddy theme.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. What you been up to, Jim? What's new with your pop culture life?
It's been a pretty busy week for me, honestly, as far as reading and watching stuff. Well, probably below average for most people, but pretty high for me.
Yeah.
I've read House of M.
Right.
Which, I had read the first 2 issues, so I read the last 6. I really enjoyed that. After I finished it, I went back and read the first 2 issues again because just had to connect it a little bit.
Sure.
I did enjoy that. There's some parts of it I wasn't crazy about.
Yeah.
Pretty much I couldn't tell Magnus apart from Pietro.
Right.
But other than that, other than not knowing who was who, fantastic story.
Well, welcome to the world of reading X-Men books.
Ooh, yeah. I really enjoyed the Peter Parker stuff. I thought that was very well done. And I wish I knew some of the X-Men better before I'm
Right.
sure there's inside jokes and stuff I missed.
Right. Yeah.
I also read quite a bit of TMNT, maybe 7 issues or so. So I guess 1 a day since our last episode. That's a lot for me.
That's quite a few.
I watched Ghosts. I thought I was caught up until you told me there was an episode this week that I haven't seen.
It's another good one.
That show's good.
It is.
Show's very funny. Have you watched the British version?
I haven't. No, I want to go see it just to check it out.
Yeah, I looked at the pictures of the actors that played the characters that they played. No, anyway, I looked at the actors from the British version, and I
Right.
almost can't imagine them in the role. So it'd be interesting going back and checking that, which is why I have a hard time with the British Office.
Right. Well, that's why it took me so long to get used to the U.S. version, was watching the British one first and then trying to place all those characters in there. It makes it tough.
It's difficult.
It is.
Whatever you watch first is kind of what you get set on. Let's see. I bought and started reading Interview with the Vampire just to make Chris Evans happy.
Right.
Not really just to make him happy. I've been looking for a novel to read for a while. I haven't been excited to read a novel in quite some time. And so I found a deal on Amazon for the first 3 books of that series for $11 or something like that. So
That's how they get you. Those first 3 are cheap, and then
yeah, and then it's going to go crazy expensive, or I have to mortgage the house. Kids ain't going to college. But well, they have to worry about that, not me.
Yeah, right.
Let's see. What else did I read or watch? I
G.I.
have not
Jeff.
watched any more Modern Family yet.
Right. You watched the G.I. Jeff episode?
I did not get watch.
Oh, you haven't watched it yet?
No,
Man,
I haven't
so
watched the whole thing. I watched the intro,
Oh,
which was great. Community, G.I. Joe, how I didn't know
yeah.
that happened.
Yeah. Season 5 episode, I watched it 2 nights ago, and I mentioned it to you. Man, as soon as it came on, I thought of you. I was like, he must have loved this one.
How I didn't see that drives me nuts. See, I got bored of the Community.
Right.
I don't want to say I got bored of it. I just stopped watching it once Donald Glover left.
Well, it's so off the rails now. Like I said before, there's just no episodes that are anything that resemble the first couple seasons. It's just the creators are just going crazy with stuff. It's like the network said, okay, you guys have got 1 more season to go. You're not getting canceled between now and then, so you can do whatever you want.
And went with it.
That's right. Yeah.
Nice. Let's see. Oh, there's something else I'm missing. Something else I watched, but I can't remember. I've watched a lot of Golden Girls YouTube clips.
Ah,
That's about it. Haven't made it back to the show. Uh, I think that's it for me for right now, anyway. Unless I think of
yeah,
it while you're talking.
I haven't done a lot of reading. Titans season 4 on HBO Max just started the first 2 episodes,
Hmm.
and I really, really enjoyed both of the episodes. I liked them a lot. I like the entire series, and I know it's kind of back and forth between different fans, as is any show. But yeah, I just love it. I love it because there's so many characters that you don't get to see when with movies and stuff.
Yeah, see, I don't know anything about them, so
Right, and it covers a lot. Covers a wide spectrum of characters. I didn't know anything about half of them, other than Dick Grayson.
so they do a pretty good job of introducing characters. I mean, I can jump in and just start it from the beginning and watch it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, sure.
I might give it a shot.
Yeah, it's pretty. It is pretty. So because it's an HBO show, and it's pretty violent, a lot of language, but yeah, I think it's really good.
Okay.
Other than that, just TMNT. I've read probably about 6 more books, so I'm through the first couple of what's it called, the Manum. What's the first book of Volume 6 called? Manum.
The Mutanimals.
Mutanimals. There you go. You got the first 2 of that. So yeah, good stuff, man. Like I was telling you, Volume 5. TMNT has this way in those IDW books of making things look like it feels like they're on a big screen. The action scenes are just crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what it is, but I have a hard time remembering names of people in different books and different stories. But with TMNT, there's a ton of characters, and I know who they all are, and I know what their stories all are. I can pick it up after 2 weeks of not reading, and I don't have to go back and remember what I was reading. It's just so good, so good. It just fits my reading style.
So that was part of my issue with House of M was the battle scenes. I had
Yeah.
no clue what was going on. Not a clue.
Right.
But yeah, I agree with you with TMNT. Well, not only that, but they introduce the characters before their main characters. Most of them, you know.
For the most part, absolutely.
And like, well, Casey's dad, you know, the Hun. Is that what his name is?
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, they just do a good job of introducing the character as a jerk and then making him a bigger jerk as the story goes along.
Right. So that's all other than our normal weekly shows, I watch a lot of TV, so just the new stuff, really. Yeah. That's it for that.
Nice.
I'm trying to think what's coming up, what's coming out soon. I'm not sure. It seems like there's something that's getting ready to come out, but I can't remember what it is. So it doesn't matter.
So, boy, the Black Adam conversation seems to have dropped. I haven't heard a word about Black Adam.
Really? Lassiter just went and saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And he posted some stuff on there. He liked it. And then it's really just the other conversations are pretty much just arguments about whether the box office drop was real or not and how that affects stuff going forward. Like the people who didn't want to like the movie say that look how far it dropped in the box office. The people who liked it are saying, well, it was only shown in this number of theaters and, just the usual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
I still plan on seeing it, but
everybody manipulates the stats to fit their argument.
Or they use Rotten Tomatoes to say, see, I was right, or
right.
This site's crazy. They're always
right. Yeah, exactly.
My favorite thing ever.
Exactly.
So,
but yeah, so did you remember the other one that you watched?
No. But I do want to. We might as well go ahead and bring this up now.
Absolutely.
I put a post on Twitter a little while ago. So Marvel's coming out with a role-playing game, and we're thinking about doing is getting a group together and maybe record some new players and a new GM. It might go horrible, but oh well, you know. So if you have any interest in trying out an RPG, if you've never done it, even if you have, you can still come in. Just let me know. Reach out on Twitter and say, "Hey, sounds like fun."
And there's lots of time. The actual book doesn't come out until June. As of
oh,
right now,
there's
where it's
plenty of
scheduled,
time.
so-
Yeah, the book don't come out till mid 2023. I have to read it, so it'd be 2025.
Right.
So, no, it shouldn't be that long. But anyway, any interest? Let me know.
Cool. Yes, definitely. I'm looking forward to it. I am.
I am
I've
too.
never played. I played D&D for a half hour when I was about 15, and then I played Magic when I was about 20 for probably an hour and a half, and that was it.
I've never played Magic,
No.
and actually very little D&D.
Right.
But I played the Star Wars role playing game. Loved it.
Yeah.
Played the Fate system. Loved it. Anyway, looking forward to getting that book and checking it out. And
Right.
if not, if this don't even go off the ground, oh well, I still want the book.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. You collect those anyway, so
Yeah, well, collect's a funny word. I have.
you like to have them.
Yeah, I like to have them. I like to. I pick them up and I read them every now and again. It's
Right.
one of the few books that I go back to and just thumb through. I make characters all the time. Like whenever I get bored with Star Wars or something like that, I just make a new character in the role playing game, and it kind of ignites my fandom again.
Right.
So,
Speaking of Star Wars,
ooh,
there was a report. I don't know. You saw it, I think, on Twitter about another movie planned to come out that's going to take place after Episode 9
with Lindelof.
with Lindelof. Yes, I don't know what it's going to be, who it's going to focus on, but it's going to be interesting to hear as news comes out of where exactly that's going to go, what they're going to do, because which characters, or if they're going to go with all new characters,
Well,
it'll be interesting.
I think it'd be hard to go with all new characters.
Well, I mean, not all, but you know what I mean. Kind of like they did with the current, most recent trilogy.
With like Mando and stuff like that.
No, with the episode 7 through 9, where they still had a few
Oh,
of the.
yeah, I imagine those characters will
Right.
come along for the ride. Well, some of them.
Right.
I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of the newest movies. I enjoy them though.
Yeah.
I don't dislike a whole lot of movies.
No.
So
And the other news, Midlife Vices is going to be handing out free blue check marks. So,
we can sell those for $8.
no, we're
$7.
giving them for free. We are giving them for free. That's right. $7 abs. 7-minute abs. 7-minute abs. That's where we're going with it. So when you're looking for your blue check mark, this is better than the wrench on the Lost in Comics chat. So this check mark will get you full access to, well,
it can shut Adam Janus up for a long time.
that's true.
More than just the hour that we did it on Lost in Comics at one time.
Absolutely. Right. Nice.
It's still one of my favorite nights.
It was fun. Yeah, a lot of fun. All right. Any other news? Have you heard anything about anything?
No, I even did a search for news today.
Did you?
Yeah. Nope. Nothing.
There.
Nothing in our world anyway, as far as pop culture or
Cool.
spin
Well,
off.
then that's
Spin off of Golden Girls.
spin-off of Golden.
Great grandchildren.
Actually, there was a spin-off of Golden Girls, wasn't there?
I don't know. Was it?
Yeah, with the neighbor and the dog, the old guy that played the police captain on Police Academy, or not the captain, but the
Now I'm gonna have to.
commandant.
I'm gonna have to
And then
do
he had the
it.
big.
I'm gonna have to look into this now.
Yeah, I can't remember what his name is, but he had a big old dog. The dog that used to be in the Golden Girls house every once in a while, he belonged to this guy. I can't remember his name, which doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Emmett, Chris, where you at?
That's right. That's right.
Oh, yes. Wow.
So that takes us into our you show me yours and I'll show you mine. So, Jim, did you remember to get anything?
I did.
Awesome.
Actually, last week when Emmett showed his homemade link, I mentioned some candy jars my mom had made, and I brought 2 of them to show. Let me reach
Nice.
over here.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
And they're really inexpensive to make. It's a flower pot, the thing that the flower pot sits on, and a jar that it's relatively cheap. So there's one, and then there's the other one.
Nice.
So yeah, they're pretty cool. I try not to stuff them with candy because then I would eat it all. So
Get
pretty
yourself
much
a
I use
couple
them to
of-
hold all my weapons for my GI Joes and stuff like that.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. I was gonna say you get a little. Oops, where are we at here?
Oh, that was
Get
good.
a couple LEDs in there and light them up.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, actually.
All right. Well, what I have got here, since it is the My Buddy week,
Oh,
this was drawn for me by Jim's son. Knowing that I am a Spider-Man fan, and what I'm thinking is that on the Lost in Comics, Lost in Doodles, I'm thinking that it wasn't actually Jim drawing anything. I'm thinking it was Jim's son. So we put it in a frame. My wife framed it, and it sits on my shelf with the rest of my Spider-Man stuff. So
you're gonna make his day when I show him this.
love it. Just love it. Just love it.
It's unbelievable how the jump from, I want to say 3.5 to 5 as far as his drawing ability. It's crazy. It just blows up. So he went from making scribbles to stick figures to now he made himself a mustache and glasses tonight out of paper. It is cool. Anyway.
No, there's no doubt that that's better than I could do. I am not an artiste at all. So
nor am I. Even though I won a Lost in Doodles.
Right.
Crazy.
You did. I know, that's crazy, huh?
And then when I went to draw the She-Hulk, I realized what a fluke that was.
So that.
Oh, yes. Wow.
You show me yours and I'll show you mine. And that's going to take us into our next segment.
You have a mail message.
Moving right along here. Man, it's quick when you don't have guests on, huh?
I know. We don't have to talk to anybody. It's weird.
Yeah, I know. Anybody watching that wants to be a guest on our show, we don't have any standards. So
it's true. Look at the
host.
message.
Yeah. Although most of our viewers have probably already been on once.
Yeah. Emmett's wife can come on and crochet something.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
Crochet live?
Crochet live. How is this not happening already?
I imagine if you go to YouTube, it's there. I would imagine it's there.
I'm doing a search as soon as this is open.
Next week when we do the what have you watched in the red section, it's going to be I spent 7 days watching. People they'll have a list of websites.
So I didn't get to crocheting, but I watched a knitting channel. It was off the charts.
Nice. So the viewer mail. We have 3 letters today. Let's see, what do we got here? First one comes from Walter from Ottumwa, Iowa. And he says, Meredith from Scranton writes in, wait, what? I don't understand what that is. On to the next letter. Meredith from Scranton writes in, question for Jim. Did we ever get loaded and listen to Zeppelin in my van? Meredith is she's a regular here on the show. For anybody who's watched it, she seems to have a little thing for Jim going on.
I like the Christmas pictures she sends me.
I got to see those. I want to see her Christmas pictures.
Swing low, sweet chariots.
And then the last letter comes in from Jesse from Bayside High. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Jesse, we're very excited too. We love doing this show. It's a lot of fun. I look forward to it on weeks when we don't have it. I really miss it. So I'm glad you share our excitement.
Say no to no dose.
Say no to no dose. It's hard to believe that she actually got a movie role.
It's not when you think about the movie.
That's true.
It seems all you had to do is be able to look.
Rub ice on your, yeah. That's true.
It's
That movie is
movie. It's the worst movie I've seen like 50 times.
It was a good one. It was a good one. So Ottumwa, how far is Ottumwa from you?
What's that?
How far is Ottumwa, Iowa?
No clue. I have no clue where it's at.
It's the home of Walter O'Reilly here.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know?
No. Like I said, I've only lived here since I've been married, which is about 6 years now. And I work literally a mile in every direction of my house. So
right.
I don't do a lot of traveling.
There you go.
So, which is why I have to make friends in California online.
You just described my dating life.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, that takes us to this week's list. Thanks
You
for
have a mail message.
Yeah. All right.
And our list this week is our top 10 buddy cop movies. This is going to be a fun one.
It's going to be a stretch for some of them.
It is going to be a stretch. It's your list. And nobody can tell you people can tell you.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I encourage it.
So what do you got for your number 10 here, Jim, of your top 10 buddy cop movies?
Okay, so there's 2 FBI agents in this movie that work together.
Okay.
So it's In the Line of Fire.
Oh, nice. Clint Eastwood and
Rene Russo?
Yes, Rene Russo. Yeah. Well, that works.
No, it's been a long time since I've seen almost any of these movies on my list.
Yeah.
So if you're expecting great detail, not going to happen. But I think most people agree that it's a pretty good movie. You know,
it is a pretty good movie.
They tie in the JFK assassination with, a fictional plot pretty well.
Yeah.
And John Malkovich as the bad guy with the wooden gun. I don't think people can forget that.
Yeah, I think that's one of his best roles, and that's saying a lot because he's been good in a lot of stuff. But he carves it out of wood to make it through the. Is it wood or is it? It is wood, right?
Yeah, it's if we can get it through the metal detector.
Make it through the metal detector. Yeah.
He
Spoiler alert.
He did have to kill that poor banking woman.
Yeah, that may have been the first thing I ever saw him in.
I'm trying to think. Rounders, Con Air, and being John Malkovich are probably the only things I've seen him in.
Right.
That I can. Well, I've probably seen him in more. I just don't recall them. But
Red? You've seen Red, right?
Oh, I have. Yes.
Yeah. That's an awesome. I love those. First and the second one.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that. So.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
So my number 10 is Bad Boys.
It's been so long since I've seen this that it didn't make my list because I couldn't tell you hardly anything about it.
The first one, the first 2 were pretty good. The first one was my favorite of all those, of course.
Okay, so I do remember a great scene in the second one with the them in the video store, and they were talking about something that could be misconstrued as sexual, and I just remember laughing a lot.
Right. Yeah.
What it was about, I can't recall. But
well, the first one, they pretty much spent time pretending to be each other because Martin Lawrence's character moved into Will Smith's apartment with that girl they were protecting there. So he pretended to be Will Smith's character. And of course, he was always talking to his wife on the phone, couldn't explain why he wasn't coming home. And yeah.
So it was like Face Off, but with their real faces.
Right. Oh, that wouldn't have been a buddy cop one, would it?
I know.
I was like,
I
man,
try to justify everything.
All right, so my number 10 is Bad Boys. What you got for number 9?
All right, let's see. My number 9 is Men in Black.
Okay,
Will Smith.
that's my number 4.
Jones. What's that?
Yeah, that's my number 4.
Okay, well, let's wait. And we're
No, talk about it now.
Okay, but then what are we going to do at 4?
We'll just move right past 4.
Oh, okay.
I'll
So
mention,
let's not do
remind
that.
people.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's a good movie. It's entertaining.
It is.
And the aliens cracked me up. Will Smith going through the whole initiation where he pulls the table to him.
That's probably my favorite scene.
That was great.
The best of the best of the best, sir.
Yeah, when he shoots the woman and gives the reasoning for the little girl. Well, the cutout cardboard. That's not the anti-kid.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just entertaining.
It was.
It
was the whole scene in the mortuary.
Yes. Yeah, no, if there's one thing I wish was a little different would be the bad guy not looking like a complete slob the entire movie.
Right.
And that's just not aesthetically pleasing to me,
Yeah, I'm trying to think if that was his first movie after, because that's what Vincent D'Onofrio. I think that's his first movie after Full Metal Jacket. I don't know if he had anything in between other than the Law and Order show he did. I don't even know if that has started.
I don't even know who it is. So
Kingpin. He plays Kingpin in the Daredevil now.
Seriously, that was him.
Vincent D'Onofrio. Yeah. Yep.
Yep. I would not have guessed that. Wow.
All right. Yeah. So my number 9 is Turner and Hooch.
Not on my list.
Not on your list.
It almost made my list.
So, it's a man and his dog, and they're partners, and shenanigans ensue, and it's actually not a bad story that goes along with it, but it's just a fun movie.
Yes, I enjoy that. Whenever we got our dog, I had visions of him chewing up the headrest in our car because of that movie.
Right.
Yes, I enjoy that movie. So, doing a search of the top 250 buddy cop movies, which I had seen like 6 of them, which was crazy to me. It wasn't even on that list.
No.
But K-9 was with the Belushi, whichever Belushi that is.
Jim Belushi.
Yeah, which I don't even remember that movie.
No?
No. And if I just spoiled something on your list, I'm sorry.
We're good. All right, so my number 9 is Turner and Hooch.
Nice choice. Okay, my number 8 is like quadruple buddy cop movie. It's L.A. Confidential.
I've never seen it.
Oh, I love this movie. Let's see. The Russell Crowe, Kevin Spacey, the guy from some other movies, and then somebody that directed other movies directed this one. Look at me coming at you with facts.
You remind me of it reminded me of that post Chris Evans posted. Was it last week when he said, "I didn't like any of the actors or anything in it, but I really liked the movie."
Yeah. Yeah.
I know what he meant, but just the way it came across was. I didn't like any of the characters, is what he said.
Yeah, I don't know if you would like LA Confidential. I love the story.
I like most of Kevin Spacey's movies, so.
Okay.
Other than American.
Danny DeVito's in it. Kim Basinger. I really enjoy the story. Like, I don't think my wife likes the movie, and I'm not sure why. But I really enjoy it. It's they all get paired up, the cops with each other.
Gotcha.
Russell Crowe's kind of the loose cannon and the tough guy, and
He was a good
what's
action
that?
star for about 3 years, wasn't he?
What's that?
Russell Crowe was a good action star for
Yeah,
about 3 years.
and it's not. It's kind of a time. It's a timepiece. That's not what, it's set in the 50s,
Right.
which I really enjoy. The 1950s. Anyway. I recommend watching it. I'm not sure it's for you, but I think you'd like it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think you'd hate it. Let's put it that way.
Right.
That's probably the best endorsement I can give for you. I don't think
Nice.
you'd hate this.
Cool. All right. My number 8 is Seven.
This is number 7 on my list.
Yeah, I had it at number 7 and I bumped it down, but yeah, it's. I mean, it's of all the movies I have on my list, it's probably the best movie. But it's just as far as when it comes to favorites, it's down at number 8. I mean, it's just everybody who's seen it knows the scenes, and even people who haven't seen it know half the scenes. And those two actors and characters together, with the whole storyline was really, really good.
Boy, does it paint Seattle bad though? I just now thought about that. Like, it's always raining, which it does in Seattle quite a bit, but
Oh, it does.
but it's not that bad, you know.
When we drive up to my in-laws up in Canada from California, we can have sun the whole way, and then we hit Seattle. As soon as you hit the site, the sign that says entering Seattle, or about maybe halfway or just before Seattle, the rain starts.
See, that's
And then
crazy.
you get north of Seattle and it stops. It's just
When I worked in Alaska, I flew in and out of Seattle, so I was there 4 or 5 days
right.
a year for 7 years.
Yeah.
Never rained once.
Really?
Yeah.
When were you there in like October?
Not when I would fly out in December
Oh, gotcha.
or early January,
Ah,
and then March, April, somewhere in there, and then fly back.
Huh.
Yeah, so I was probably there actually a week or so over
Yeah.
during the year, but yeah, I just got lucky with the weather, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure people who live there would argue that it doesn't rain a lot. But
Yeah, or they might say it rains all the time. Depends on if that glass is half full of rain or not.
right. So that was number 8, the movie Seven, which you already said was your number 7.
Yeah. So just
Nice.
what's your number 7?
So my number 7 is K9. Jim Belushi.
Spoiler.
I like this better than Turner and Hooch.
You do like it better.
I do. The dog, and I know his name is something very common and familiar, and I can't think of it. Jerry Lee. Jerry Lee's the dog's name.
In the movie or in real life? Because he's dead.
In the movie. German Shepherd.
Yes.
Yeah. I just really, really like
But I don't even. How did he get the dog?
he needed a partner. I think his partner got killed. If I remember the beginning of, I'm probably misremembering that. But then he went into the dog kennel, and they sent him in there. And this dog came out and was not very friendly at all. Looked like he wanted to kill him. So of course, in the buddy cop movie, that's going to be his partner.
Yeah, I'm going to check that movie out again.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, Jim Belushi's not as good an actor as Tom Hanks, but
Well, maybe at that point he was. That was pretty early in Tom Hanks' life. And Tom Hanks did some pretty not great.
I don't know if I had to start a team with Jim Belushi or Tom Hanks. That's funny. We'll skip
That's
over
funny.
that.
No one else will get that, but I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun movie. I think you would like it.
Yeah, well, I have seen it, but it's
Right.
been heck, it might have been 30 years. I don't know when that movie came out.
It was the same. It's kind of like when Armageddon came out and then Deep Impact came out. I mean, they were right around the same time.
Same time as Armageddon? Okay.
No. I'm talking about the dog cop movies came out together, kind of like disaster movies come out together. And
Okay.
Everything happens at the same time. So,
So about the same time as Turner and Hooch.
that's Turner and Hooch, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so that was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Okay, my
That takes
number
us
6,
to number
right?
6, yeah.
Okay, so this is probably the biggest stretch on my movie,
Okay.
Tombstone.
Oh, that is a stretch.
It's a stretch.
But they were cops, so
They were cops, and they brought on Doc Holliday.
yeah.
I think it hits all the right, yeah, it's probably my favorite movie on this list.
Yeah.
Maybe not. But yeah, no, they were cops, and then they were bad guys, and then they were cops, and then they were bad guys. But I
Oh,
had
it's
a
a good
hard time
movie.
coming up with 10, so that one made my list, and it's number 6.
That's one of those that when it comes on, I have to watch it.
Oh yes, it's a great movie. And speaking of that, I guess Wyatt Earp could have made my list too, but I did not
True.
enjoy that movie nowhere near as much as I enjoyed Tombstone.
No. Not even close.
Not even close.
My number 6, more traditional buddy cop movie, is Rush Hour.
I've never seen this.
Man,
Not a bit of it.
you've never seen it. I mean, if there's anything you're ever going to watch Chris Tucker in, this is it. So,
Yeah, I don't even. I mean, there's no reason that I haven't seen it. I have
Right.
nothing against Jackie Chan or Chris Tucker.
right.
It's never been in front of my eyes.
Yeah, it is. It's a fun movie, and of course, like every Jackie Chan movie, the most fun is probably the credit post. The bloopers at the end.
Wait, I do. The Statue of Liberty. Were they ever on the Statue of Liberty?
No.
No. Okay, that might have been something else I'm thinking of.
National Treasure.
Obviously, something else I'm thinking of.
But so my number 6 is Rush Hour. I like not just the first one, but I like the second one too.
Was there only 2?
I can't remember if there was a third. I think there probably was. They go to China, I believe. I think it's China. Yeah, and fight the.
I'm guessing Jackie Chan did his own stunts.
Yes.
I always got a kick out of that being a reason that a movie was good. Because I honestly don't care who does the stunts as long as the movie entertains me. So
Right. No, I agree.
I mean, I think it makes him kind of a badass, but it don't make the movie better for me.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So that was my number 6. So that's going to take us into
High five!
the high five.
That's another movie I've never seen.
Don't.
Okay, so my number 5 is 48 Hours.
As is mine.
All right, well that worked out pleasantly. Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
I think this was Eddie Murphy's second buddy cop movie, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, yeah, it's just it's Eddie Murphy when he was really good.
Oh, he was on fire, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was putting out some really good content,
Yeah.
and it was Nick Nolte when
Before he was crazy.
yes,
Or maybe he was crazy. He just had.
yeah, it just wasn't fully out on display yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was it made me laugh. I mean, I honestly don't remember a whole lot about the plot at the moment. Mostly memory is why it's at my number 5.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he had to escort him, right? He had to take him into custody for
Yeah, he took him out of jail for
Yeah.
48 hours.
for 48 hours, and they had to track down the bad guy.
Yes, and I just remember they went into a bar.
That's just one scene.
Yeah. Yeah,
I gotta watch that again. Man,
Yeah.
I gotta watch it again.
I can say that about every movie on my list. Is I would watch every one that I've said so far on my list. I would watch tomorrow if I had a chance.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I would. Yeah, I might watch tomorrow. I got nothing.
Everyone on my list, I would watch tomorrow. Right.
49ers are on a bye tomorrow, so I might watch all these movies tomorrow.
Okay, so that was your number 5 as well.
That was my number 5 as well. So now we're at number 4.
Okay, so I'm doing with the other Eddie Murphy movie. I'm going with Beverly Hills Cop.
That's my number 3.
It's your number 3. It's a
I knew that. I mean, there has to be a lot of overlap because when it comes to these movies, there's not a ton out there unless we try and be really obscure with stuff. So,
yeah, no, unless I mean we all can't have tombstones on our list. So,
right.
or what other movies could we?
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop is just. I mean, the first one, the second one, I even like the third one, even though that was Fat Eddie. He, put on a lot of weight by that point, and he was kind of on the downward. He had his Chandler season 5 look going. He was kind of on the downhill slide of his popularity.
Just a great theme song.
Yes,
that I think everyone that ever played a musical instrument learned how to play on the keyboard or on their instrument.
Yeah.
Yeah, and who can forget the truck going around the corner and the doors opening, and it's just entertaining. Just a very
Bananas in the
fun movie.
tailpipe.
I will say that about this genre. They're fun movies.
They are.
That's what they have going for them. It's just a good time.
And what made it even more fun is it allowed Eddie Murphy to be Eddie Murphy because the other 2 cops were the straight, the straight and the goofy, the incompetent one. So they took those roles and just let Eddie Murphy be Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
And of course, Paul Reiser had his role in that as the boss back.
Oh yeah, you're right. I was like, I don't remember. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So good. And again, Beverly Hills Cop 2 was really good.
Which one had Bronson Pinchot in it?
That was the first one.
The first one, yeah. Well, I think he actually came back for the second one too. Yeah.
He probably did. Wasn't his name Serge?
I don't remember.
I'm Serge.
Yeah,
I'm Serge.
He's a great character actor.
Oh, God.
I loved him in True Romance. I thought he was great in that.
Of course not. Don't be ridiculous. I don't know how that didn't make when we did our sitcom list.
Well, because I don't think it's a top 10 sitcom, but I enjoyed that.
It was fun
I used
at the
to
time.
say that all the time.
Oh, yeah. I think probably most people our age said that quite a bit at that time. So you did your number 4. My number 4 was Men in Black. We already talked about that. So we are now at your number 3, which my number 3 is Beverly Hills Cop. So what you got for your number 3?
My number 3 is The Last Boy Scout.
Oh, man, I almost put that. That's one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah, it's I really enjoy this movie. Damon Wayans, Bruce Willis.
Yes.
The best football scene in a movie of all time.
Oh, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it almost makes you cheer for that guy, which is really bad. But you're like, I wish my team was that dedicated to scoring touchdowns. Not really.
Just keep on going, yeah.
But yeah, it's just great. And then him having to do the jig at the end was just a great ending. The puppet show was fantastic. It was just a great movie.
The 80s was a great time for buddy cop.
Halle Berry's first movie, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this fun.
Who was his wife? Do you remember? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember.
Hmm.
Was she famous? Was she in the movies? Was she in the movies?
Yeah. All right. So that was your number 3.
My number 3.
Which mine was Beverly Hills Cop. So that takes us to your number 2. Man, we're moving right along here.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Can we get a guest? Can we call somebody right now?
I know. Well, yeah, DC. Also, hey, DC, I hope your dad's doing well, buddy.
Yes, definitely.
My number 2 is Die Hard 3.
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yep. Yeah, the only one where he really takes on a partner.
Yeah.
I think. I don't remember much after 3.
Well, in 4, in the last 2, but yeah, it's.
So yeah, I like the riddles. I think that's my favorite thing about the whole movie. Yeah.
I like the riddles too, except for the water scene in the park was the way they just dumped the water in, and they wouldn't have had it right
Yeah,
the way they did it. But
but I did
the
enjoy that. I enjoyed that riddle because I remember doing that when I was in
Oh
school.
yeah.
And so I just got a kick out of it. The whole
Or the
banter.
fact that
The
there was some
banter.
cheesy stuff in it too, wasn't there?
Oh, there's a lot of cheesy stuff in it. Yes.
The scene going down the cable to the boat when it cuts the guys in half.
Yes.
Coming out of the manhole cover right when he happens to drive by and he sees him getting shot up in the air on the water. Just they're in L.A. or they're in New York, and they just happen to be in the exact same location as he comes flying out of the. But it doesn't matter.
That's kind of movies, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Him remembering his partner's badge number just because they mention it once.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's lots of stretches in these movies, but it don't mean they're not entertaining.
Oh no, it's Die Hard.
Yes.
Die Hard is like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's good.
That's man. Now I want pizza.
Nice.
Okay, you're number 2.
Number 2, The Rock. So this is a stretch.
Oh.
Of course, Nicolas Cage is a federal agent, and Sean Connery is not. But they work together to take down the bad guys. So
Ed Harris.
Ed Harris, absolutely. There's a ton of people in that movie. There's so many people when you watch it now. You're like, man, I didn't remember him being in that movie. But just such a good movie.
Never even entered my thought. I enjoy this movie.
And I mean, everything about Nicolas Cage in that is perfect. He plays the wimpy guy kind of really well, and then he becomes the hero, of course, ultimately. But the car chase scene,
great,
is great.
I think that was my first introduction to Hummers outside of the military.
I agree. I think that's probably
the first time I saw him, not in something. Yeah, that's a great movie. It would be on my list if I would have thought of it.
So that is the number 2. That takes us to the number 1,
which I think we both have. Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon.
It's got to be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, I don't know if it was the first one, but it's the first one I remember ever seeing. I like the first one the best out of them all by far. I mean, I don't think it's even close after that. But yeah, I really enjoy the whole Riggs struggling with his wife's death and suicidal, and
right.
Although I don't understand how the guy that he jumps off the roof of the building with didn't see the big inflated balloon to land on, but just a great movie. I never loved Jingle Bell Rock more than I love it because of that movie. Greatest opening scene to a buddy cop movie ever.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's
pretty good.
I mean, you don't have to watch it, Mom. So,
and I like 1 a lot. 3 is probably my second favorite, and then 2, and then 4. But again, it's like Die Hard. They're just not bad.
They're entertaining.
They all give something different. Of course, the first one is Riggs dealing with his problems. The second one is Riggs pretty much over his problems, moving on.
The third one is him quitting smoking.
Third one, eating onions and getting married and having a kid. And then the fourth one is them getting really old and having to take down Jet Li.
So, I remember in the second one, I believe, is when he takes his shoulder out of socket to get out of the straitjacket. I love that scene. I don't know why that scene resonates so much with me, but I get a kick out of that scene. It don't hurt nowhere near as much as putting it back in.
And then Joe Pesci coming in.
I was not a fan of that character.
No. He was a little over the top. I think I liked him more right at first when they were protecting him than when he became a regular
Yeah,
part of
I
the
mean,
movie.
the drive-through scene.
Yeah,
I feel like that was the first movie I remember thinking like they're swearing just for humor,
right,
and I'm not a big fan of that.
right.
Uh, did I find it funny? Of course I did. I was 17 or however old I was when it came out. So yeah, I thought it was great at the time. Looking back on it, not the biggest fan of it, but it doesn't mean it's not good because it is.
Right.
So
Yeah.
and not enough to sway me off the movies anyway. So
No, I mean the first one is just. I think he'd just come off of the first Mad Max movie. Maybe the
yeah, I don't
second.
even remember.
Maybe the second. I can't remember the year. And it made. I mean, Danny Glover ended up getting his role in Predator 2 as the main character because of Lethal Weapon. So
I really enjoy the scene in Maverick when Danny Glover when they take off their
Hank
mask and
Crawford.
they play the Lethal Weapon music.
Yes, I'm
I think
told
that's
this.
just great.
Yeah. Or yeah, that kind of he looks at him like I know you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when
I'm
he
too
leaves,
old
he's
for this.
how he's too old for it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean the bathtub scene, the sitting,
Yes.
sitting on the toilet. Him always messing with the psychiatrist.
He's got pits all over his face. Yeah, it's a great movie. Nailed them both.
And of course, Gary Busey. I mean,
Again, before we knew how crazy he was.
Mr. Joshua, burning
Yeah,
everything.
that scene with him and the open flame
Yeah.
and I mean, he's not even the main bad guy in that movie.
No.
Well, I guess arguably he's not. His boss is, but
Right.
it also makes me laugh that they let them two just fight it out when you got all those cops there. You can just take this guy into custody. And,
Yeah.
no, stand back.
Yeah.
No, that's not the way it works, but
Yeah.
okay.
A lot of fun. A lot of fun. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's my number one as well. I mean, there was never really any doubt.
Yeah, I great.
There are some honorable mentions I have. Shanghai Nights, Shanghai Noon.
Ooh,
They're what they are. And I just had the others on the top of my head, and it slipped my mind.
Was
Holy
it-
cow!
the one that I said, The Last Boy Scout?
No, no.
So I
Die
don't know.
Hard. The Die Hard was on my honorable mentions. The only reason I didn't put that was because he wasn't a cop, but that did disqualify a couple other movies, so it's kind of stupid I didn't.
Oh, you don't think well, they were both.
Samuel L. Jackson wasn't a cop.
Oh, and Die Hard. Well, the original Die Hard, you can call it the Family Matters guy and John McCain are both cops.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Man, yeah.
Yellow
but they
Guy
never-
number 7.
That's true. That's true. You're right.
Yeah, so I mean, you could have went with that. So I have an animated movie, Zootopia,
Never seen it.
which, yeah, I have a 3 and a 5-year-old, so I've seen a lot of animated. And it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think that's the only one I got on there.
I should have wrote down my honorable mentions. I really
Yeah,
should.
that's all I got.
Cool. So,
Cool.
man, we're only at 54 minutes.
I know. Well, we used to do them in an hour. Remember?
That was our plan until we started having guests that dragged it out. I know. Anybody
Yeah.
watching as a guest, you got to be quick because no, you really don't. So now,
Okay.
what do we got? We got what's coming up next for us,
We don't know because we're not sure
yeah,
when
we have
DC
to
Patrol is going to be here.
right?
So hopefully he's able to make it next week. If he's not, no rush, buddy. But if you made it this far and you're still watching and you want to be on the show, let us know.
Yeah,
We'd
for
love
sure.
to have you. It'd be weird if we didn't know you, but it'd be interesting.
Might be interesting. Yeah.
It might be more fun. Who knows? That's all I got, really. You got anything?
I'd make sure you're supporting everybody else out there. Gathering of the Geeks, Chris and Emmett, who have both been on the show already.
Tomorrow night?
They will be on.
Not tomorrow night because
They will have already aired. They air.
You're
They
late.
gather on Sundays. So make sure you get on that if you can. Get in the chat. It's a good time if you can be in there. If not, watch the show on replay. Adam Janis, I think, recently dropped a new
The werewolf that was on Halloween. Last one I saw.
Trick or Truth. I thought he posted something the other day.
Oh, if he did, I missed it, and I apologize, Adam.
Yeah, the werewolf one. I don't think he'd done the werewolf one the last time we did a show.
Yeah, that was Halloween. He dropped that.
Right. Yeah. So check that out. And Lost in Comics, if he ever does a show again, he's flaky. Chris at Lost in Comics is just flaking out on us. I mean, he used to be the guy you can count on. Now you got to fill your time with us.
Sorry.
Yeah. Right. So, but yes, check out his top 3. He got a live show coming up in a couple weeks. Make sure you're there for that. We will push that a little more next week on our show. And this will be what's today that this is going to air, Wednesday. So by now you've all adapted to the new time change.
Oh, that's got to happen tonight for us.
For us tonight, yes. Yeah.
Hmm.
So now the dog will be wanting to get up when the clock says 4:30 instead of 5:30.
My dog sleeps in the kennel, so he stays in until we get him out. So
Yeah. Oh, Tango and Cash. That was my other one. That was on my honorable mentions. So
I did think about that.
it's a horrible movie. I mean, but
That's
it's
Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell, right?
Yes, it's so bad that it's good. I mean, yeah, I watched it a couple months ago, and I couldn't believe the quality was what it was, and that it was so good at the time. I mean, I guess we could have went with Stallone, Sandra Bullock, Demolition Man too. It's actually a good movie.
Oh,
It didn't make
you're right.
much.
See, I'm maybe I'll have to rewatch that, but I wasn't the biggest fan of that movie.
No,
I'll have to rewatch it though.
I just kind of randomly jump back into stuff. Yeah, you can edit that back to where we were when we ended our list. See, I know you're not going to.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about right now. So
I'm saying you could put the honorable mentions back at the end of our regular list instead of after us talking about 13 other things.
well, I could, but let's face it. If they're watching this far, we might as well give them nuggets still.
Oh no, they might have watched until about 4 minutes ago, but they're definitely gone now.
Yeah.
That is all we have for the Watch It Buddy episode. Thanks for joining us. And
Appreciate it,
we will
guys.
Yeah, definitely. And we will see you next time. Take care.
See ya.